Hello, and welcome to Dad's a Nerd. My name is Jake, and I am the nerdy dad that runs this channel. So, I wanted to take some time and review through Disney Plus. I was actually watching earlier today the Mandalorian series, which you hopefully have heard about, may or may not have heard about already, and thought to myself, man, I should do like a review or an overview video of the Mandalorian series. 2 episodes in, it's absolutely awesome. And then I thought, well, maybe I should take a step back and actually review through Disney Plus in case anybody doesn't have it already, is considering getting it. Or if you have it, just making sure that you can see the different things that are in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk through a little bit overview of what's inside of Disney Plus, where it came from, why it came to be. We're going to talk about some of the original series that they created, kind of talk about how to get the most out of your subscription and what's in there. And then, of course, like things that I know they're coming with in the future. So let's dive right into it. So this is the Disney Plus. This is naturally their online version. The great thing about Disney Plus is that they have it available on every type of device and platform you can possibly think of. I have it on my iPad, on my phone, and my Apple TV. This is clearly the online version, but I know that smart TVs have it. I know that PlayStation has it. I know that Amazon Fire Stick and all those sorts of things have it. Roku. It is easily accessible from anywhere, and then you're able to stream it from anywhere. Really cool thing is, I know for a fact that I believe in the service agreement it says that you can have it on up to 10 devices as you have it. But unlike something like a Netflix, I've streamed it on 4 devices at once just to test it, and I was able to stream it on all 4 at the same time and not have any sort of limitations or error messages or anything like that come up. So you can watch it from pretty much anywhere at any time, and that's awesome. So let's talk a bit about what's inside here or what Disney Plus is. So if you haven't read Bob Iger's book that he just came out with that is called The Ride of a Lifetime, you should. Great book, easy read, quick read, but it also, he talks about the acquisition of Pixar and Marvel and Star Wars, and then Fox, and then when they started thinking about this whole idea of Disney Plus and everything being able to watch from a device. In fact, Bob Iger says that he had the idea that you should be able to watch their entire collection of Disney movies and everything on a mobile device or on some sort of a on-the-go type of a device before the iPod video came out. And you talked to Steve Jobs about it. So it started as an idea way back then, and then kind of going through the cycle of everything, and the market then, created this world of these online platforms like Netflix and Prime and all those sorts of things. And they decided to jump into that game when it made sense. And this is their answer to that. So the Disney Plus world contains everything from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic. It's going to have original series that, once again, we'll talk about here in a bit. It's going to have all the different classics. It's going to have movies, TV shows, you name it. So it's broken down a lot like any other streaming platform. I can pull up any sort of a process. These are movies, HD, Disney Channel favorites, or whatever that may be, inspired by true stories. I can search through things, Watchlist, their originals, movies, series. So pretty straightforward when it comes to most streaming platforms. Some of the cool things, though, is that because they have these different buckets of groups, like you could jump to all Disney, all Pixar, or whatever. They also have here under the search section, I could search out any sort of a character. I could look up, Dumbo, and I get the 3 movies, which if you've never seen Operation Dumbo Drop, you should. So I get everything that has Dumbo in it. The other thing, though, is that they have these kind of explore options, which I love, especially ones like the Disney Through the Decades or the Star Wars Skywalker Saga. It allows you to click in and see, I want to see Disney the 20s and 30s. Here are the options. Here are the things that are available or out there. This is great because I grew up on watching some of these cartoons on late night Disney. I can remember watching these shorts and them being some of my absolute favorite. And they're ones that were created well before I was born. And so being able to go back and see those and show them to my boys is absolutely amazing. I love it, every part of it. So there's a lot of awesome things when it comes to that. Same idea like the Skywalker Saga. They have that in there and broken down. So here's the actual movies. But then if you go to Darth Vader collection, we now also include some of the other aspects that he's in. And if I went straight to Star Wars, it's going to have everything under the Star Wars universe, from movies to series. I love that all the Lego Star Wars stuff is in here. Rogue One, which is amazing. And the cool thing is that these are all the movies have actually been remastered into 4K with Dolby Sound. So there are improvements, there are changes. A New Hope, Episode 4, they actually have reworked the Han and Greedo scene, so you should go take a look at that. It's only available through the streaming process to see that. As soon as I heard it, went and watched it. So that's cool that you can break those down into those different sections. Naturally, there are the originals, there are movies, series, and such. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward in what's in there and how it all works. Now, the cool thing is that Disney now owns pretty much all of these here. So you've got Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, but they also now own Fox Entertainment. And so what that starts to open up is some other movies like Pandora, or TV shows like The Simpsons. So there will be more movies coming, and we'll talk about that here in the plan for the future section of this. So let's jump into one of the things that I am the most excited about, which is this originals. So they are actually creating original series specifically for Disney Plus. Now, series and movies. So things like Mandalorian is a series, Lady and the Tramp is a movie. Now, Bob Iger, he wanted to make sure that if they were going to do this, that they would have the same quality, that this Star Wars show is going to have the same quality as you would expect from a Star Wars movie. Or if there is a Pixar or a Marvel show or movie, that it's going to have the same quality as a movie you'd go see in the theaters. And so he actually created this really cool incentivization plan, big word, crazy word, and it's not my first time recording this because my other system stopped working. So incentivization plan for those people to go and create this content. So that's why you have people like Jon Favreau as the executive producer for The Mandalorian, and Dave Filoni as the director. And why these things are actually such amazing product and such amazing quality is because they actually went and said, hey, you're Star Wars and Marvel, you guys are still going to make your movies and the stuff you're already doing, but now you got to make these too. And I know it's not going to have a release where we release a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie and you make $1 billion. It's going to be different. It's going to be streaming. So here's how we're going to pay you. And they jumped on board. They got excited. And clearly the creativity and what was produced from that is there. Lady and the Tramp movie, amazing. I love it. Great kind of readaptation. I wasn't as big a fan of the Dumbo recreation. But I liked Beauty and the Beast. I loved the Cinderella remake. This is on par with those. Very much fits in very cleanly. The music's great. I absolutely love it. Mandalorian series, I cannot say enough about. Jeff Goldblum show, amazing. I've gone through a lot of these already. Noelle, amazing Christmas movie with Anna Kendrick in it. The Imagineers, Pixar in real life. These are awesome. If this is just a snippet of what's to come, I'm really excited about those originals and what there will be based off that content that's being created. And I mean, gosh, this platform in 24 hours had 10 million subscribers. So I imagine that amount of money will lead to more shows, more movies, more series being put out right on the platform, and them being as high quality because the money is there clearly. So that's kind of the originals. There are some there. Like I said, some are just movies, some are series, and so you're actually able to go in and view the series that there are as they release episodes. You cannot binge watch all the Mandalorian episodes, as some people thought. You can only watch the ones that are available now, and then every Friday for the next 8 weeks, they release a new one. So I don't know what the release schedules are on these other ones, but like I said, great shows. I've been going through them. I enjoy them a lot. So now inside the app, I want to make sure there are a couple things I've noticed that I told other people they didn't know, or they didn't see, or they didn't pay attention to, that I'm like, hey, make sure you do this so you get the most out of your app. Number one, there's a lot in here. So as you start going through it, you're going to start seeing different things that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they have that on here. I'm going to go put that to where I can watch it later. I will just pick it randomly, a Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. So biggest thing is adding shows to your watch list. And so as I've been going through, naturally, I go through this Disney through the decades. I see those cool shows that I've always been like, man, I want to watch these again for myself, but I want to introduce them to my boys. That allows me to go in there and put them into that watch list. And that way I don't forget about them, because trust me, there have already been things that I go back and like, oh yeah, I saw that earlier. Why didn't I? And so just add them to your watch list so you remember to come back and see them. DuckTales movie clearly has to go onto my watch list because it is like one that my boys absolutely need to see. Gargoyles, the TV show, you name it. All those things are great. So make sure you're using that watch list feature. One of the other ones is going to be, I'm surprised that someone didn't notice this, but when you're in the movies in the series, when you come into the section or this main section here, it's set to featured. And so you actually can click and update that to like all movies A to Z, and then you're getting the full database of what is in there currently. And so some people didn't know that. That's not something that is on other platforms. Typically, you go to a section and it just starts listing everything. This you can open up like and just say, hey, I want to see everything under movies. And so that's a big thing there. Same thing with series. Make sure that you update that and that you say, hey, yeah, I want to see all of them that are in here, so that we get a full scope of all the series that are available to you as well. So make sure that you open those up. The watch list, that's a huge thing for me. Like I said, I've already been watching, like we haven't actually watched any other type of TV since this thing came out because it has had everything that we could want built into it automatically. So go take a look. Like I said, some awesome stuff. Tron, absolutely amazing. And being able to go through those. Some of these new series are amazing. I watched Jeff Goldblum last night. It was so awesome. I'm looking forward to that series. National Geographic is the other one that Disney purchased. So they, when they bought Fox Entertainment, they also got National Geographic. And so that opens up, like I was watching Gordon Ramsay last night. It opens up all of those shows that are available to you as well. So go check it out. Like I said, super awesome. There is so much that you can then like educational wise take in, but also entertainment wise. I'm so excited. I can't say enough how much about this app I enjoy. There are a couple things I don't like. There are a couple things that I know that they need to fix or update, or maybe I just haven't figured out, how to do it. Things like when you turn on any episode, it automatically turns on the captions, and I just want to permanently turn that off. And right now I don't see the option to do that. Maybe I'm just not paying attention or not seeing it. I haven't looked deep enough, but like every single time it does that. That's a little annoying. That's probably my biggest one that jumps out to me. Let's see. So getting the most overview, getting the most the original series. Oh, for the future. So one of the things that I know Bob Iger talks about in his book, The Right of a Lifetime, is he talked about when to launch this app. So they launched ESPN Plus back in March-ish, April, February-ish, somewhere in there. And then they knew they were going to be waiting to launch this now. Even though they've had the platform ready, they've had the series pretty much ready. They were launching it because there was a certain amount of their titles, movies, series that were under contract with Netflix or Prime Video or whatever that may be. And they had to wait for a certain number of those to come out of contract so they could put them in here. Well, they launched this. Technically, they're still under contract with those companies on other content. So just because, especially in the Fox Entertainment world, so just because some of those aren't on here yet doesn't mean they're not coming. As those contracts expire, clearly Disney is going to cycle those in and make those available to you through here. So once again, I personally, the original series alone has made this worth the money to pay for it. But on top of that, then just having access to all of the other things that are in here, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm a huge nerd. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. But I love everything Disney, Pixar. I love Marvel, and I enjoy all the educational components. So this is like the perfect tool, the perfect platform for like me, but also my family. We are all enjoying it so much, and being able to sit down and watch some of these, introduce my kids to some of the stuff that I hold near and dear, bringing back memories that I had as a kid, watching these with my siblings, and so. This is, like I said, I can't recommend it enough. You should go and do it. I'd love to know anybody who has it. What's been the thing that you were excited to see? Or what's been the one that you were like, oh my gosh, they have this, I have to watch it. Or I want to show my kids, or whatever that may be. I would love to know because, I know what jumps out to me. And I love hearing what other people, potentially want. I feel bad for everyone if you're watching this anywhere outside of the US and Canada. You don't get access to all of this until next year. And I don't know why, but I will tell you that you should just plan on getting it. If you see any promotions for like pay for a year, or I know they had a promotion for a while where you could pay for 3 years and get this awesome discount. If they rolled anything like that out to you, just do it. It's worth it. Everything about it makes it worth it. Like I said, I haven't been as excited about something as this. The only other thing I have super excited coming up is going to be the last Star Wars film coming up for the Skywalker saga. So naturally, I'll hopefully have an overview on that. And what started this video, which was I'm watching the Mandalorian series and wanted to do some overviews on that. So hopefully I do that. If there's any other things you're like, man, it'd be awesome to get an overview from someone with a super nerdy perspective on in here or whatever it may be, feel free to post in the comments. Let me know, shoot me a message, and everything. Feel free to go find us on Instagram, Dad's a Nerd, and we'll see you guys soon.